Mike with Trike with Mike, Texas. So I was thinking about used Trikes for a second spare, just a spare. And the only reason is my sister-in-law comes often. She rides Trike. She likes riding it when we're here. She likes riding it with both of us, Kaylyn and myself. I borrowed a Trike last time she was here. But that's not convenient for us. It's not convenient for the person who's loaning it. I don't think I'd want to loan my Trike out. And I just don't feel good about borrowing people's stuff like that. So I was looking for something separate. This is when you wish you hadn't sold your Villager so long ago, but you didn't know at the time. And for when she comes and when anybody else comes and the three of us want to ride, I'm not kicking Kaylyn out of her Trike, or she's not kicking me out of mine. I can set mine up for whomever's coming, and I can ride the spare, or they could ride the spare. It doesn't matter to me. But, you know, I don't think I want the e-assist on that spare. And the simple fact is, you know, battery maintenance. You got to use these batteries once in a while. You can't just let them sit there, especially in a discharge state. You can't just let them sit there for months at a time. They need to be used. So, non-e-assist, you don't have to worry about how often you use it. You pull it, you know, down off the ceiling or wherever you're going to store it out of the way. You know, air up the tires and check everything and go. But it doesn't have to be e-assist. Mainly, you know, the battery problem, you know, unless you're riding it often enough. You can always add e-assist later, right? And then the other thing with that in mind is you know, it's lighter too. But then you got the other thing is, you know, I really like a Cat Trike 559. But I absolutely hate the Presta valve stems on those wheels. I like the bigger, you know, what are these called? The regular valve stems you get with a car. You know, my ASAP has them. My wife's Ice has them. It's easier to fill, easier to find a place to fill. You can fill it up anywhere. You don't have to get adapters and all this junk. I had to mess with the Prestas on my mountain bike. Actually, my son's mountain bike. My mountain bike had regular Schrader valves. That's the word I'm looking for, Schraders. But my son had the Presta. My Cat Trike had the Presta. And honestly, you know, I know with the little, you lock down the thing and put the cap on and everything, they're supposed to hold air better. I didn't find that to be the case. I put air in my tires that had the Presta valves in way more often than I do with the Schraders here. It just, you know, but the Cat Trike uses them because they use narrower rims they can't accommodate the Schraders. And that's, I think, why the presses were invented, is for the narrower rims. These racing road bikes and stuff like that have these skinny tires, and that's what's needed for those. So that would be the only thing when looking for something different that would keep me away from a cat trike. Now, if one was still available, a decent price, and or I'm not using this anymore, it's still mine, but you can have it, and you can store it, but it's still mine, that's a different story. I'd gladly store something and maintain it for somebody if they had one in the area that was something I could ride once in a while for situations like that. So anyway, ideally it's an ICE or ASA or TerraTrike, something with the Schrader valve that would work. All right, thanks for watching.